Tonight we're going to start off with one of these. I've had this in my stash for quite some time and I can't say that I see them around very often anymore. I'm going to grab Gypsy Green by DIY Paint and I am going to kind of give it a fast coat and then I'm going to be stippling. So stippling, for those of you that don't know, is just getting your brush and pouncing it up and down. I'm somebody that doesn't like brush strokes. I know those of you that watch my videos are all the time are like, yes, we know, Sammy, you don't have to say it. But maybe there's somebody new here today, okay? So stippling is my preference. It also helps to get into all of the details when you have a piece like this. And that's why I love using my little old school chippy brushes. Now, after it paints, look at how beautiful this is. I am going to mix vintage linen with water. So I'm going to water down my paint. And I've used this technique on candlesticks a lot, but not usually on a sign like this. So I was just really playing you guys with different paint techniques today, seeing what I liked, what I didn't like. So just join me on this ride. So I'm going to cover the entire thing with the watered down vintage linen. I'm going to cover all of it. Then I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to dab the excess off. Now I had to spray more water on it because DIY paints are clay based and they're thick and they dry very quickly. So I needed to reactivate that paint. I probably should have done it in sections, but it worked out okay. So you can see it's taking off a layer of that. Now, when I went to go dry it though, I was noticing that the white did settle into the details of, the detail around the edges, but you really couldn't see family as clearly as I thought. I thought it would add like a little bit more depth, but you can see it, you couldn't see it as much. So I had to pivot and I decided I'm going to take some liquid patina and we're going to completely clear this piece and you'll see why in the next step. In the next step, I take DIY's dark wax. Now, the reason why we coated it first was because if I were to have put the dark wax directly over my painted piece, that dark wax was going to cling to that clay-based paint and I wasn't going to be able to remove as much as I would want to. Now, putting that liquid patina created a barrier between the paint and the wax, and now I'm going to be able to wipe off as much as I want. So I'm taking my dark wax. I'm going to coat the entire project. I don't have to worry about doing this in sections because again, that liquid patina is underneath this dark wax. Then taking a microfiber cloth, I am going to wipe back the wax. Push more pressure means you're going to take more off. Lighter pressure, you get it. I like using the microfiber cloth sometimes because I feel like it takes more off and I feel like it's almost like a cleaner removal of it. I don't know, that sounds weird, but that's how I feel, okay? And this is how it turned out. I really do like it. I think it looks like a stone sign that was set out in a garden or like put on the side of a front door and it's aged over time, has all that like green buildup that those stone pieces get outside. And I think I might actually keep this one. I think so. Now, these next pieces, I actually found a trio of these at Savers. I sold the other two on Thrifted Thursday. Brenda bought them. So Brenda, if you make something out of them, please share it on the Facebook group. I'm going to take I think this is Sandy Blonde. I'm going to take Sandy Blonde and I'm going to coat the entire piece with it. I'm not trying to get full coverage, just coating it. And again, remember, I was just playing around and just seeing what worked and what didn't work for me. Next, I'm going to take some of that Crackle Medium by Folk Art. This is the Crackle Medium for chalk paint. And I am going to do one coat of this. And remember to use those single strokes. We don't want to go back and forth on the piece, or else it gets very gummy and your crackle is not going to turn out well. I have this link in my Amazon description, or link down in the description box. Y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. All right, I'm going to apply some heat to this. This is going to help intensify the crackle. And again, you guys, vintage linen. Okay, you're gonna hear me use vintage linen a lot because it's my favorite. And I'm gonna go over, and right away when you put that paint over the crackle medium, you can see that crackle come out immediately. Now I know there's a lot of crackle mediums out there. I want to try Pentart so much, but y'all, it seems like way too many steps for me. I love my one application and I get the crackle, but it looks so cool. That is the one crackle I do want to try. All right, so after I got that paint on there, I decided it looked too bright white for me. So I'm going to take my Dark and Decrepit Liquid Patina. You guys, that's the Dark and Decrepit that I've had since I first started using this paint, which is insane. So I'm going to water it down. This one I am going to do in sections. So I put the watered down mixture on top, and then I'm going to take that paper towel and I'm going to dab the excess off. Now you have to do this one in sections because that liquid patina, it wants to cling immediately to that paint. So the longer it sits there, the less you're going to be able to take off. And I wanted to use this as almost like a glaze. I wanted that to sit in to the crackle. And this too, you guys, was inspired by South Fred Vintage, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And so I did that with the rest of this, and I did not put a top coat on because the liquid patina is a sealer. So I didn't have to do anything after this. And here's how she turned out. I like her a lot. She looks rusty. She looks crusty. I love that it looks like an uneven like color. Oh, and then I forgot. I did add some gold wax on there. I don't know where that went. Just the light coat. And then I love how the Dark and Decrepit settled into the cracks. Okay, look at here. Look at here. This is milk paint. And do you see that? Milk shake consistency. Yeah, I got it there, but I didn't do it alone, y'all. I want you to go over and I want you to follow my friend South Fred Vintage Amber, okay? She is the one that helped me get this done. All right? First off, she told me, you could watch her video from 2 weeks ago, and she's gonna, no, I think I asked her. Anyways, she told me to coat my entire piece with a clear matte spray paint. So that's what I did. I used Clear Matte by Rust-Oleum. I cleared this entire cubby with it. And then she said, when you go to mix your paint, the thicker the better. So stop focusing so much on the 50-50, like between the powder and the water. So what I did was I filled the cup up with the powder, and then I just gradually kept adding the water until I got the milkshake consistency. And let me tell you guys, it worked. Amber, thank you, my friend. It worked, y'all. So I don't think you need to see me paint the entire thing. But look, I can't wait to show you. Side profile. I got crackle. She got crackle on her. Okay, you could not even imagine how excited I was to finally get crackle on something. So if you are looking for somebody who knows what she's doing, obviously you love crafting, and she is the sweetest person. Her and her husband are amazing. I found them on Whatnot. They're like hanging out with family, and I think that's why you like hanging out with me. So go follow them. I will leave their link down in the description box for you. And then look at this crackle. Look at this. This poofed up. This poofed up like a muffin, okay? And I didn't know if it was the right thing to do, but I loved how it looked. So I got liquid patina, and I put the liquid patina under any of the raised surfaces so it would adhere back down to the little cubby. And then I decided to seal it up. So I don't know if that was the right thing to do, but it's what I did. And of course, I am taking liquid patina because it dries down matte. I'm going to seal in all of that good crackle. I thought, no, you know what I think it's missing, you guys? I did apply some of that like Dark and Decrepit over it, the watered down stuff, just to darken it up a bit. I must have missed that somewhere. And look it. I thought I was going to sell this, but after I like built my little vignette in it, I decided I think I needed to keep it and I was going to base all of my bookshelves off of this. But look at that crackle. Oh my gosh. This is the second piece I've ever gotten crackle on. So I'm going to use Amber's method going forward, spraying it with clear matte, milkshake consistency, and I should hopefully be good to go. And you guys, whenever you're building a vignette, just focus on one thing and build around it. That little piece up top, just it started the whole thing for me and it's so pretty. All right, this one, you guys. This is the wild card. So this is a cake. Um, yeah, you guys know what I'm picking. Cake thing. My mom picked it up for me for $1. I'm gonna sand it because it was painted. I'm gonna try to sand it as much as I can to get some of that texture off. The cake top wouldn't actually, it didn't come off very easy. So I was like, I don't really think we could utilize it flipped over the other way. So maybe we could use it as a riser. Hello, my friends. I wish I could, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna self-care and crafting at the same time. Okay, try it. All right, let's turn it back around. Okay, so I actually took this out and primered it. And I did that because when I went to paint, I didn't want to have to cover this a million times. So I did like a gray primer, but I love how smooth the finish is. It looks so good. So I'm thinking instead of painting it, because I don't like brush strokes, that I am going to go ahead and spray paint it. And I know what you guys are thinking, but spray paint is not tacky. I promise. There are really good spray paints out there. I'm going to try, I found this color in my stash and I'm loving it. It is Satin Vintage Blush. So we're going to shake this one up and then I'm going to show you how to spray it so we don't get the nasty runs and all of that stuff. You're not going to be this close to your piece when you're spray painting it. You need to have some distance and then we are going to do it in swipes. You're not going to hold down the nozzle and just go for it like you're spraying hairspray, okay? We have to do it in, ooh, I feel like this needs to be shaken up more. Oh, don't do me dirty. Don't do me dirty. This has been sitting for a long time, so I'm hoping. I might have to give it more coverage, but you can see I'm taking my hand off the nozzle and doing it in strides, not holding it down. And that's okay. If I have to give it another coat, that's fine. We do not want the drips that come with it. And make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Open up your garage door, do it outside. It is very tacky outside right now, so that is why I am doing it in the garage. But very easy. Let it completely dry before you do that second coat and before you turn it over to do the bottom of it, okay? So I'm hoping that I didn't get too much on the bottom, but we'll see how that holds up and we'll see how it comes. So after it's all spray painted and we're in, I am going to take some of these IOD transfers. I'm not sure which one this is called, you guys, but I know I don't have it. And let me tell you, these transfers wanted to cling to this spray paint. Like once I like even had it just a little bit attached, it wasn't going anywhere. I had to set that down. So I used the grids on these transfers to help me a lot with the placement of this transfer. Transfer. Sounds like I said that like 10 times in, a second. Okay, but anyways, we are going to push down on our transfer again, and we are going to pull back on that carrier sheet. Now you can see I always have my thumb down on that transfer. That way, as I'm coming up and around, I don't have it popping up or coming loose. Then we're going to burnish it, which means we're just rubbing down on that transfer, making sure it's adhered. And on this transfer piece, it actually was like a long, long ribbon that was going downwards. So I got those flowers, I cut them to how I needed them to look, and then I decided to overlap them onto the sides of this piece. That way I'm not wasting the transfer. And I thought it looked really cute, kind of wrapping around. So that's what's fun about the transfers. They might look one way, but that doesn't mean you have to use them that way. You can make them your own by layering them up, cutting out what doesn't work, and that's what I do here. I like cut it down so it makes sense being attached to the side of the ribbon. And then I do put something on top. I know you're like, if it's a riser, we're probably not going to see it, but I like things fancy, so why not? So I do adhere this, and then I am going to put some little butterflies around it. And I did end up just taking it out to the garage and spraying it with some clear matte by Rust-Oleum. And I think it turned out good. I think that I need to see if it could open after I spray painted it. But I thought it would be fun because you can actually store stuff inside and then also use it as a riser. You could even possibly store like dinner plates in it. I don't know. I'm going to have to look. But I do like how it turned out. For this being an absolute wild card of a piece, I think it turned out fun. I love the color combo on this. And it's something different. It adds height to either a counter or a table or bookshelf, and then you can build around it. And look, we can still see some of the transfers. So thank you guys for being here today. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to comment down below.